Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Did you really see everything at the recent award show? Because I'm about to show you the Jikook moments everyone missed. The cameras might have missed it, but my eyes didn't. Prepare for a deep dive into the most elusive Jikook interactions from the recent award show. You won't believe the hidden details we uncovered, proving some connections are just too strong to be contained by a spotlight. Hold up. Before you think you've seen every angle of the recent award show, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. This video unearths the completely unseen, truly intimate Jikook moments that were happening right under our noses. From secret smiles to lingering gazes, get ready to witness their undeniable connection. Today, we're going to talk about something that has completely taken over the internet: the unseen interactions between Jungkook and Jimin at the recent award show. At first glance, it looked like a normal event: flashing lights, loud cheers, red carpets, and proud smiles. But for those who look closer, there were little gestures, eye contacts, and moments that spoke louder than words. So, let's take a slow, heartfelt look at everything that happened, the story behind their glances, their small exchanges, and why this particular night might just be one of the most intimate Jikook moments we've seen in a while. The event started like any grand award show, glamorous and full of energy. All the members of BTS arrived looking effortlessly elegant, representing not just their music but years of brotherhood, memories, and shared emotions. Among them, Jungkook and Jimin stood side by side, their energies quietly complementing each other. While others waved to the crowd or smiled for cameras, there was a subtle comfort in the way Jungkook looked at Jimin, a kind of familiarity that's only built after years of knowing each other's every mood and movement. When they entered the main hall, fans quickly noticed something: Jimin kept glancing toward Jungkook, often when he thought the cameras weren't focused on him. It wasn't dramatic or exaggerated, but rather a small, tender kind of attention, as if he wanted to make sure Jungkook was doing okay, or simply wanted to share the moment with him, even without speaking. Later during the show, when the group was seated among other artists, a brief moment caught everyone's eye. The camera panned quickly, and in that split second, fans noticed Jungkook leaning slightly toward Jimin, saying something under his breath. Jimin turned his head and smiled, not the big, stage kind of smile, but that small, knowing grin that only appears when someone makes you feel safe and understood. And that, perhaps, is what makes Jikook so special. Their connection isn't about grand gestures or forced affection. It's built on quiet understanding, the way Jungkook instinctively looks for Jimin when he's unsure, or the way Jimin always seems to sense Jungkook's emotions even before he says a word. It's these small, unseen interactions that tell a bigger story, one of trust, loyalty, and love in its purest form. As the night went on, something interesting happened during one of the performances. While the group was waiting backstage, a fan video caught Jungkook standing just behind Jimin. He wasn't doing much, just standing there, relaxed, but when Jimin turned slightly, Jungkook's eyes immediately softened, and he gave a small nod, almost like a silent reassurance. And in that little exchange, you could sense everything: comfort, care, and something that words could never truly capture. When BTS was called to receive their award, Jimin and Jungkook walked side by side. Their hands brushed once, so briefly that most people might not have noticed. But for fans who know the history of their closeness, those little brushes of contact are enough to tell 1,000 stories. As they stood on stage, lights shining on them, Jungkook subtly positioned himself just slightly behind Jimin, as if giving him space to shine. It's something he's done countless times before stepping back, not because he wants to disappear, but because he always seems to want Jimin to be seen, appreciated, celebrated. During Jimin's thank you speech, the camera cut briefly to Jungkook. His expression said everything. He wasn't smiling in the usual way. It was softer, prouder, with eyes that seemed to glisten just a bit more than usual. It was that look that says, "I'm so proud of you," without needing to speak. It's a kind of admiration that's born from years of growing together, supporting each other, and quietly being each other's strength through every high and low. After the speech, Jimin stepped back, and Jungkook gave him a quick pat on the back, brief, but filled with meaning. That single touch carried the warmth of everything they've shared. From late-night practices, tired laughter, silent comfort, and unspoken encouragement.
저희가 이제 한국에서 또 한다고 해가지고 미팅을 온라인으로도 하고 오프라인으로도 하고 이제 회사에서 굉장히
Fans also noticed a particularly heartwarming detail. When the group sat down again, Jimin leaned slightly toward Jungkook, whispering something that made Jungkook laugh quietly, covering his mouth. It was such a small exchange, but one that radiated pure affection. Even amidst thousands of flashing cameras and the loud atmosphere of an award show, they found their little space of comfort, just two people being themselves, away from the noise. After the event, the broadcast. One showed Jungkook helping Jimin adjust his outfit when they were offstage. It was quick and almost invisible, but that's exactly the kind of care that defines Jikook. Jungkook has always been attentive, often looking out for Jimin in the most natural way. And Jimin, on the other hand, has this gentle instinct to make Jungkook feel grounded, especially when he's nervous or restless. There was also another moment during a group photo at the end of the night when Jimin slightly leaned toward Jungkook, their shoulders brushing. Jungkook responded by leaning just enough so that their posture aligned perfectly. It wasn't deliberate posing. It was something instinctive, the way their bodies gravitate toward each other, even without words, tells you how deeply synchronized they are. What makes this so powerful is not just the visual chemistry, it's the emotional rhythm between them. You can almost feel that even in a room full of people, they still find each other's presence grounding. Jimin's warmth softens Jungkook's intensity, while Jungkook's calm steadiness gives Jimin strength. That's why, no matter how many years pass, their bond remains effortlessly magnetic. Throughout the evening, many fans mentioned how their interactions felt both familiar and renewed, as if they've grown even closer after all the years of shared history. Perhaps that's what time does to genuine connections. It doesn't fade them. It refines them. The comfort between Jimin and Jungkook now feels deeper, more mature. They don't need to say much. A glance, a smile, or even the way they walk beside each other speaks volumes. After the award show ended, photos surfaced showing Jimin and Jungkook leaving the venue at slightly different times. But fans noticed something again. Jungkook paused for a few seconds near the exit, as if waiting for someone. And just a few steps behind, Jimin appeared, smiling faintly. They didn't make a scene, they didn't pose for the cameras, but that quiet coordination, being in sync even in the simplest actions, was more than enough for the fans who understand their rhythm. What's truly moving about all of this is how consistent they've always been. From their trainee days until now, Jimin and Jungkook have always shared an understanding that feels unique. Jimin once said that Jungkook feels like someone he can be his truest self with no need to hide, no need to pretend. And Jungkook, in several interviews, has described Jimin as someone who knows how to comfort him just by being there. Those words echo perfectly through nights like this award show, where actions speak louder than anything they could ever say. The beauty of Jikook lies in these unseen details, the way their eyes meet, how their energy flows naturally together, how even in the midst of fame and chaos, they still act like two best friends who found home in each other. By the end of the night, when the lights dimmed and the crowd started to disperse, fans couldn't stop replaying those moments. The subtle smiles, the exchanged glances, the shared laughter, each frame became a reminder that their bond is real, deep, and unshakable. And maybe that's why Jikook continues to captivate people all over the world. Because what they share isn't about spectacle or show, it's about sincerity. It's about growing up together, understanding each other without needing words, and choosing to stay close, no matter how much the world changes around them. So, when fans talk about the unseen interactions at the award show, it's not just about fan service or imagination. It's about recognizing love in its purest form, in small gestures, quiet moments, and genuine care that can't be faked. As the night closed, one last clip emerged, Jungkook turning around as if looking for someone before heading backstage, and just as the camera turned slightly, you could see Jimin catching up behind him. It was almost poetic, like a silent promise that no matter how big the stage gets, they'll always find each other. So to every ARMY who saw those small details and felt something warm in their heart, you're not imagining it. You're witnessing the quiet beauty of a bond that continues to shine, even in the moments the cameras almost missed. This was a night to remember, not just for the trophies, not just for the performances, but for the tender, unseen story told through every glance and every smile between Jimin and Jungkook. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with other armies, and subscribe to Jikook Diaries for more heartfelt stories, hidden moments, and deep dives into the connection between Jungkook and Jimin. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our next update. And as always, keep loving, keep supporting, and keep believing in the beauty of their bond. See you in the next video, Army. Borhi.